We have seen the general provisions relating to sale of property as a mode of execution under the Civil Procedure Code. Let us look into the provisions relating to sale of movable property under section 61, order 21, rule 74 to 78. What is movable property? It is defined as movable property includes standing crops. So what are the different movable properties and how the sale is done and what is the provisions relating to this is to be looked into. Now what is the place of sale for this purpose? In one case, the place of sale of all movable properties in an execution decree ordinarily should take place within some place within the jurisdiction of the court ordering such sale was stated in Lakshmibai versus Santappa Revappa Shintre. That is, the sale of movable property has to be done in a place within the jurisdiction of the court which orders the sale. Now section 61 speaks about partial exemption of the agricultural produce. Now suppose the property which is movable consists of agricultural produce, then if it is attached or if it is sold, the judgment debtor may not be able to conduct his other activities, or he may need a portion of the agricultural produce for purpose of planting or for the purpose of carrying on his agricultural activities in future. For that purpose, the state government may exempt a portion of agricultural produce from liability to attachment or sale in execution of a decree. This has been provided under section 61. Under order 21, rule 74 subclause 1, the sale of agricultural produce where shall be held has been stated. So if the agricultural produce is ordered to be sold, the sale shall be held on the land on which the crop is standing or near the land on which the crop is standing. Number 1. Suppose the crop has been already harvested and it is lying at a place, it is stored at a place, then the sale shall be held near the place where the crop is lying. But sometimes that place may be some remote place and it may not fetch a good profit. So then the application may be made to the court and the court may direct the sale to be held at a nearest place of public resort if the court is of an opinion that in such a place the produce is likely to sell at a greater advantage to the person. So the object is to give the benefit to the judgment debtor. If when the product is put up for sale, the agricultural produce is put up for sale, fair price is not offered and the owner of the produce applies for postponement of the sale, then the postponement can be done till the next day or the next market day. The sale shall be postponed by the court and then at that day it shall be completed at whatever price may be offered for that produce. This is rule 74 subclause 2. Then there are certain special provisions relating to the growing crops. Under rule 75, it speaks about what are the provisions of the sale relating to the growing crops. 75 subclause 1. This rule says that when the property is to be sold, that is growing crop, then the sale shall not be held until that crop has been cut or gathered and is ready for storing. That means until the crop has been harvested, the property shall not be sold. This is for the purpose of protecting or for the purpose of keeping the value of the produce intact. Where the crop is such as cannot be stored, suppose the crop is it cannot be cut and stored in a particular place, then it may be sold before it is cut and gathered. So the sale may take place and then the purchaser will be given a right to enter on the land and do whatever is necessary for the purpose of tending, cutting or gathering that particular produce. This is when it cannot be stored. Then the next movable property is negotiable instruments and shares. When that has to be sold, what is the manner? That is rule 76. It says that in case of a negotiable instrument or share in a corporation, then instead of directing the sale by public auction as it directs in any other matter, the court can authorize the sale of such instrument or such share through a broker. Rule 77 says that the sale has to be by public auction. When the movable property is sold by public auction, then at the same time when the public auction is held and the sale is taken place, at the time of the sale itself, the price of each lot has to be paid. It shall be paid immediately. And as soon as the price is paid, the sale becomes absolute. So if the person defaults in the price, suppose the purchaser does not pay at the same time, in default of that payment, the property shall immediately be resold to some other person. And if there is any deficiency in that particular price which has been recovered, then the earlier purchaser who has defaulted, that the defaulter, will be liable for the deficiency. Now, what is an irregularity in sale? Irregularity refers to a mode or a procedure, irregularity in a procedure. So that is rule 78, which says that a sale of movable property in execution of a decree cannot be set aside on the ground of irregularity in publishing or conducting the sale. Suppose the publishing of the sale has not been done properly, or the sale has not been conducted properly. Just because there is an irregularity in publishing the sale or conducting the sale cannot be set aside. Any person sustaining any injury because of such irregularity may institute a suit against him for compensation. That means it cannot be set aside unless the person who has suffered any injury because of that irregularity is in question, and he suffers due to the person who has caused that irregularity, then he may file a suit against him for compensation for that injury which has been caused. If such person is the purchaser, then for recovery of the specific property, he can file a case, or he can file for compensation in default of such recovery. Suppose the specific property cannot be recovered by the purchaser, or he has suffered a loss due to that, he can file a case for compensation in default of such recovery. Now, setting aside sale of movable property, that is stated in Rule 78. An application to set aside a sale of movable property is possible. It lies where the court which orders the sale did not have jurisdiction to order the sale. In only such conditions, the sale of movable property can be set aside. This was stated in Prafulla Chandra versus Calcutta Credit Corporation. To summarize these provisions, we can say that sale of movable property in execution includes agricultural produce and negotiable instruments. The provisions of the CPC provide for powers to the court to exercise its jurisdiction and order sale of movable property by auction. I hope you have learned something from this video. Please leave your comments and I would be happy to reply to them. Thank you.